And you did testify that that Mr. Livesay had been mining at that location
Yes, sir.
previous to the January 9th?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how long he had been working at that location?
Not long, because we've been going up there quite a bit.
When would you say is the first time you were aware of him working there?
The first time I was aware of him there was on November 27th.
Had you seen evidence of people mining in there before then?
No, it had been pretty idle.
I have no further questions at this time.
Anything from the state?
Mr. Ritter, with regards to exhibit number 1, I think you wanted to explain when you were being asked questions by defense counsel that there were maps on your mining claims. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you look at exhibit number 1, are you able to tell us where, well, look, let me ask that better. How many maps are located within this exhibit?
Total of 5.
Okay. And what are they purported to be maps of?
The actual, you got your maps actually taking your sections in your area, you know, like the land, and then the claims are drew within it, within, you know, the southwest section of section. It's just the coordinates are marked, and then where the little asterisks would be where the monument was erected.
Okay, so on these maps that you have here, you put an asterisk of where the monuments were located.
Right.
Right. And there are 5 maps, and each one appears to have an asterisk within it. Is that correct?
Yes.
And within these claims, there's actually locations, specific locations of where the mines are located. Is that correct?
Where the mines are?
Like where the mine is, like you have latitude and longitude. Is that correct?
Yeah, just the boundaries is
All
what's
right.
in there.
So the boundaries are on these maps.
Right, the boundaries, and then the asterisks just where the monument would have been. And then the mines aren't located anywhere on these maps. These are just the, you know, the area that are mapped, the corners, boundary corners. I don't list the actual mine shafts.
Okay.
Just the.
What's the purpose of putting the asterisk there to put where your monument is?
I don't know. This is what BLM required.
They required you to do that before you submitted the paperwork for
Yes.
approval?
Uh-huh.
And on here, there are dates listed near your signature. Can you tell us what that date is? Go ahead and look through the page.
The
for-
date would be, the one's date posted on the ground, that one is what you're looking at? Or our signatures are the date?
Throughout the entire exhibit, you have some dates listed by your signature on some of the pages. Can you tell me what the date is on
Oh,
those?
what the date is, okay.
Can you go to page number 3?
Yeah, that is October 7th of 2014.
Okay. And is that your signature next to that
Yes,
date?
that is my signature.
All right. And then, actually on page number 3 at the top, there's a stamp there that, up there, do you see that stamp?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's the date listed on that stamp?
The 10/7 of 14?
Okay. And who, based on that stamp, put that stamp there?
That would have been the recorder's office in Bisbee.
Okay, because it says Cochise County, Arizona?
Yeah, that's actually when we drove to Bisbee and then we recorded all this.
Okay. And so, on that date, is this the paperwork that you took up to Cochise County?
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay, and this stamp here was placed on there by someone from Cochise County, not you, correct?
Correct.
All right, and it says a recording fee of $9. Did you pay that $9?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And there was actually 5 separate We had to file each one separate.
Okay.
I have it recorded separate, sorry.
All right, and that's notated on each one of these claims, right? And each one of them also says 10/7 of 2014.
Yes, ma'am.
I have no further questions, John.
Oh, you want to step down?
You want me to leave this?
Yes.
Okay, court's going to take a 10-minute recess. We'll start back up at 10:25.
All rise. All rise.
Thank you. Be seated, please. We'll call Jeff Court's back in session. This is case number CR 2015-0026. State may call your next witness.
Your Honor, state would call one. Miss Ritter?
Ms. Ritter, come forward, please. Raise your right hand. Do you swear from testimony you give for the court to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Have a seat, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Would you state your full name for the court and spell your first name, please?
Janice Marie Ritter, Janice, Jenice.
And Janice, are you married to David Ritter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And on January 9th of 2015, can you tell me what led up to you or your husband calling the sheriff's office?
We had gone up to the claims just to check on things and see where everything was at, and we got there. The little white car was there, and Philip and another lady was in the front seat, and we pulled up next to him. I was on the passenger side, so I asked him what he was doing, and he got out of the car and started walking away from us. And we told him that we had the claims, and he said something about us not staking them correctly, and we asked him for his paperwork, and he just kept on walking, and we told him that we're going to call the sheriff. And he was saying something, but his back was to us, so I have a hard time hearing stuff like that, so I don't exactly know what he was saying at that point.
Where did Mr. Livesay go after he walked away from you?
Back behind his car, there's a little trail that leads up to where the mine shaft was, or the actual entrance to this part of the mine, and he walked in that direction. On that trail, I don't know where he went.
And I kind of asked a couple of the other witnesses, but how many entrances are there to the entire mine claim?
There's quite a few entrances on the maps. There's, I think, 3 that are posted on the maps that we have. But they have the air shafts and the stopes that go in the sides of the hills that also connect to the inside of the mine.
Is anyone able to get out of anywhere else other than those 3 entrances?
Yes, my son crawled out through the stopes, a couple of them, when we were up there.
Your son, how old's your son?
Right now he is 19.
Okay. So, okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Robert. No, have a seat.
Sorry.
Sorry.
On that January 9th, you didn't personally see Mr. Livesay go into the mine?
No, sir.
Are you familiar with where the monument was located that your husband testified was the monument to stake the claim that included that mine?
On that particular one, no, I'm not aware of where that monument was at.
And do you recall seeing the monument that was erected by Mr. Livesay and his partner?
Yes.
Did you see it?
Yes, it was right at the entrance of the mine right there.
Did you see in the mine a place on where names and dates had been carved as to people who had been working in the mine?
Names and dates. There was dates up in the top tunnels. There's dates on some of the boards up there. There's the draft doors where people have graffitied all over it.
Did you see Mr. Livesay's name and dates there?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall what the dates were?
I don't recall. I have a picture of it. I don't remember what the date was on it. It was like 2 or 3 years before that.
Were you personally involved in erecting the monuments out there?
A couple of them, yes.
But not the one for...
Not the one on
particular
that one.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Anything else from the state?
The little pathway that you saw Mr. Livesay walk on, was that part of what the land that's part of the mine claim, or
Yes, it is.
no further questions, John?
You may step down.
Thank you.
The state would rest, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Allred?
Yes, sir, I'd like to call the defendant, Mr. Livesay.
All right, come forward, please. Raise your hand. Do you swear firm testimony you give for the court to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Have a seat, please.
Could you go ahead and state your full name for the record?
My name is Philip Vincent Livesay, not Livesay.
Okay, how do you spell your last name?
Livesay.
Okay. How do you spell your first name? I guess there's more than one spelling of Philip.
Phillip.
Okay. Now, Your Honor, I'd like to get this one here, just one dated, and not the other one dated. I'd like to have this marked as defense exhibit.
Sure.
A or one, or whichever
Maybe
clerk
A.
prefers.
Maybe A.
Approach the witness.
Yes.
Okay. What is that document?
This is our mining claim that I myself and my partner have filled out.
Okay, and was that then placed in a monument to stake the claim, to stake your claim?
Yes, it was.
Was it placed on the center line of a claim that you were staking?
Yes, it was.
And where was that in relation to the the mine that's been discussed here, the mining shaft, the Golden Rule mine, I guess?
It's center line at exact longitude, latitude down to the minutes and seconds.
And
That's in the southwest corner of the Northeast Township, section 23.
and is there a map included up with that?
Yes, there is.
Claim? And does that roughly show the location of the claim in that township? Or
It shows
in that-
exactly the location.
Okay. And is that the claim that you were working on acquiring? When you
Yes.
were working at this location? Where was that monument in relation to the entrance to the mine?
Directly above it.
Can you tell me when you started mining and working in this mine?
It was back in 2012.
And were you working there as an employee, or under what condition were you working there?
Well, the owner of the private part of the property, Anthony Casella, gave myself and a friend of mine, Tori Cox, full permission to go check it out and mess around there and stuff. And that's, when we started exploring it, investigating it. But up until this date, on the 27th, is when we, decided to post it. Stake the claim.
And why did you decide to stake it at that time?
Well, because we were there for that long and we got to know the place really well. Well, I lived in the house just right in front of it for about a year and a half. And that was our backyard. And and we have plans to do stuff with it,
The house, is the house located on private property?
Yes, it is.
Where is the boundary between the private property and the BLM property?
It's right there by that wooden sign, or, as you turn in, I could draw, it's hard to explain, but
Okay. Was that where you were parking, was on the private property?
yes,
And you had permission to be there?
yes.
So at the times mentioned in the testimony so far, that there was a vehicle, that you had a vehicle parked there, so was that always on private property?
Yes,
And the mining claims, are they all on BLM land?
no.
What other property is there?
Well, they're all claimed except for the 17.5 acres that's just to the north of the house that I resided in, but not just by one claimant. There's multiple claimants for each claim there. It's just a matter of disputing who was there first.
And at these the time that you've been going out there, did you see any monument that was erected to stake a claim prior to the November 27th?
Yes, there has to be hundreds of them from back in the 1840s.
Okay. Did you see any new ones that were staked by Mr.?
There was one, but I didn't pay much attention to it because it had nothing to do with our claim, because it was out of the boundaries.
And where was that located?
It was about 500 feet to the southwest, which puts it outside of the center line, 300 on one side, 300 on the other side, so it had nothing to do with ours.
So when staking a claim, what's the significance of that 300 on one side, 300 on the other?
It's 600 feet in width. You want to stake your claim at the beginning center line, the center, and at the end, that's the 3 center line markers, and then at each corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are your boundaries, and that marks the center line of the load. You want to do it directly above that.
And when you say it directly above the load, what does that mean?
Well, when you claim something, you say, I claim this exact location here, not maybe over here, I'm not sure where.
Your Honor, I'm going to object on foundation.
Mr. Robert?
We can back up a little.
Okay.
Ask him a question to try and develop foundation. What is your experience with mining?
I've drilled in the for Freeport McMoran copper and gold open pit mining. 5 years of MSHA classes. I'm blasting from. I also worked underground. I'm at the Hilltop mine, the Well, the historic hilltop mine, I was the last one to actually close it up. I'm a professional with it. That's just what I do.
What's the meaning of MSHA? Is that a?
MSHA is the Mine Safety Health Administration. Before you can even set foot inside of a mine, you have to be, go through an MSHA class because it's more strict than OSHA because of these specific hazards that are involved with mining.
Okay. Well, I guess what I'll just ask is, on the claim that you staked, you said that was immediately over the mine shaft?
Yes.
And that was to include a distance of 300 feet on either side?
Yes. To the south and north.
And the monument that you'd seen that had been erected by Mr. Ritter was in your estimation and judgment not within the claim that you were stating?
No, it was exactly, I got a tape measure and I measured it exactly. It was not a guess. It was not in our claim.
And where did you say that was? It was southeast of your claim?
No, southwest.
Southwest, okay. And so, based on that, did you believe then that you had the right to stake the claim that you staked?
Yes, as well as that, there was five claims on one marker, which is inconsistent with how it's supposed to be done. Each claim has to have its own individual marker with a jar stating the information in it, or some kind of a container. You can't put all 5 on one stake and claim all from that to there. It's just not done that way.
So that's what you found in that monument, was 5 claims in one monument?
Yes, I have video of this.
Did you ever see, to this date, have you ever seen the boundary monuments to stake the boundaries of claims by Mr. Ritter?
The ones that Mr. Ritter describes, I believe were like a galvanized post or something. And while the only 2 that I've seen are within 10 feet of each other, one's directly to the south of the other one. One has a jar on it, that's the one to the north with a green bungee wrapped around it. And it's a clear pint size, like a mason jar.
Okay, and that's the one that you testified you saw?
Yes.
With 5 claims in one monument?
Yes, and I have a video of it.
And have you seen any other new work being done to establish claims, boundaries, etc., at that mine?
To establish or to disestablish, like I saw my stuff torn down, repeatedly, but no new stuff, no.
There's been testimony about what was used to create the monument that you created. What did you use to create that monument?
It was like an old dynamite crate type thing. The wood's very old and grayed. It was just some of the lumber that was there existing. I put the rocks inside of it to stabilize it, and then I put my little black container that seals watertight inside that crate so it'd be safe from the weather and stuff like that, and the rocks to hold it down, as well as a yucca pole sticking straight up in the air about 6 to 7 feet.
Okay, where did you find that wood crate?
It was right there on the location.
Okay. And there's been testimony that Mr. Ritter had attempted to speak to you about this. When's the first time you recall did you ever have a conversation with him out there at the mine?
I never wanted to speak to him, no.
Did he ever provide you with evidence of his claim or otherwise try to communicate with you?
He only left handwritten notes, like, in places.
Okay. So at the date in question on January 9th, were you there with the belief that you had a right to be there because you had staked a claim?
Yes,
And were you working at that time to establish all the legal requirements necessary to make that claim?
yes, and that was within our 90-day period as well.
Are you talking about the 90-day period to establish the boundaries of the claim?
Yes,
Did you have contact, were you communicating with either the BLM or any other agency or persons about this mining claim?
yes, and we also tape these conversations.
Were you working with a geologist at the University of Arizona?
Yes,
Do you remember his name?
Marcus Oligri.
And what was he discussing with you, or what was he helping you with?
We were finding new sources